Hello, Byron Primary families. I'm Amanda Durnan. I am the principal here at Byron Primary School. And today I am here to share some information regarding Title I, how it looks, how it works, and in our schools, and then also to hopefully answer a lot of questions that you may have, as you may have received a letter that your child has qualified for Title I. I have a goal here today to hopefully share some background as to why you may have received that letter and what Title I means and looks like. So we have a few goals today. We are going to be learning more about our Title I process here. We are going to learn about the state and federal mandates that come along with Title I funding. And we are also going to have an opportunity for you to provide some input on how our process is working, as we are always looking for ways to do things better. All right, so Title I is a federal program, and it is designed to support state and local education initiatives. It is not a special education program. It is a federal program, again, that is targeted to help provide additional reading and math support for students that may indicate that they would need some additional support. It is targeted to supplement learning efforts to enable students to meet proficiency on state and local curricular standards and assessments. In every grade level, we have grade level standards. We also have proficiency benchmarks, and we have state benchmarks, and we have local benchmarks, and we even have national benchmarks. And when students are falling into particular benchmark categories, that is how we would determine if they would need additional support in reading and or math. So Title I, we do receive some financial assistance, which is determined by state criteria. It is based on the percentage of disadvantaged population, which starts with looking at our free and reduced population, and our funding changes from year to year. If you take a look here, you can see that our funding has never been the same, and we oftentimes do not know what our funding is until the summer before school starts. So this year's allotment is $30,040, and that is the additional dollars that, again, has been provided by the state for us to target the content areas of reading and math and to provide additional intervention for students that may fall into that benchmark area. And again, Title I dollars are spent through districts differently, and what we do is determine what may work best for our district and how those dollars can be spent. And we will talk a little bit about how we do use the funding here in our K through 5 system. So this allotment goes across the span of K through 5 students. So we also have students in the intermediate school who also receive Title I services, and so the $30,000 is spread out between the two buildings. So how do we determine if a student qualifies for Title I? In our intermediate school, the first thing that they would look at is their Minnesota Comprehensive Assessment, which is better known as MCAs. And our primary students do not take MCAs. We are just a K through 2 building, but we do look at our assessment system, which is called FAST, and we look at our fast reading and fast math benchmarks. That is our first point of review. We also look at guided reading and phonics assessments that can be given to any and all students. And our third point of data that we look at is our classroom assessments and then teacher recommendation. So we do triangulate our data, and we look at those three different assessment systems that we have. Our FAST system, our guided reading and phonics assessments, and then classroom assessments and teacher recommendation. We also provide a Title I compact, which is an agreement or partnership made between schools and families. So once we look at those three data points and we can determine who may fall into that Title I category, we want to partner with our families to, again, help our kids be as successful as possible in school. We know that working together as a partnership, and we certainly want to keep parents informed as to the different interventions or supports that may be needed to help students, and then again to just create that system of support. The compact is a federal requirement, so if a student is identified as falling into the title category, we do provide a compact. You will be getting the compact with the original Title I letter. Our letter also lets you know if your child has qualified for title in reading, math, and or both. And then the compact is just that agreement that we will work together in partnership to really support students and help them be as successful as possible. The compact is signed and is a record kept on file in the office, as we are mandated to provide a parent compact, and it actually is a parent-student-teacher compact that we will all work in unison to help school be a great place to be. Okay, so our allocation again, K through 5, is the $30,040, and how Byron Primary and Intermediate School has used, how we have used the allocated dollars is to provide some paraprofessional support. We have general paraprofessionals in the primary and in the intermediate who will push into classrooms and work with small groups of students to provide that additional reading and or math support. And again, they will work with grade level teams as to what grade level teams may find as a best intervention. We do a lot of training with our paraprofessionals on research-based reading and math interventions, and we know that this added support is needed for our kids, and it is just another way that we can continue to work at the student's level. A student will never be pulled for title support. The Title I component of their day is in addition to any new core instruction. Students will never miss new instruction to participate in a intervention time. This is just a visual to show you just the different spectrum that we work with within our schools. And as you can see, we have right there in the middle all of our core learning. So again, if students are receiving interventions of any kind, it will never come during that core part. If we do have a student that is considered for Title I, that is what we call our Tier 2, work. And so that is additional interventions provided, but outside of the core instruction time frame. We also have Tier 3 support, which is very intensive reading or math intervention, and it occurs with our reading specialist, oftentimes one-on-one or 1-to-2. We also have enrichment opportunities, and we also look to support our students that require just enhancement to the core curriculum. Okay, so our core reading and math, our reading each day is between 90 and 120 minutes. It is most likely spread out between the day, not necessarily chunked all together. And we have 60 to 90 minutes of math each day. And again, it may not be in a 60 to 90 minute chunk of time. It is oftentimes broken up into different parts of the day. Our Tier 2 math and reading comes in the form of what we call STARS intervention time. And so what we do is we take our general paras, and they will go 2 grade levels at a time, where they will again work with the classroom teachers, and they will work with students on again that additional reading and math practice or reteaching or just additional activities to help them maintain the learning that's happening. We also offer a couple of Tier 2 additional opportunities. We have our Dreams program, which is our after-school programming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which will be getting started soon. And then we also run a Summer Dreams program as well. And so throughout the year, we're always monitoring to see if Dreams is another just advantage that some of our students can attend. And again, our Tier 2 is always in addition to the core learning. It is never substituting new or core learning. As mentioned before, we do have what we call Tier 3 at Byron Primary and Intermediate. Both of our buildings have a certified reading specialist. And again, if a student qualifies for Tier 3 reading support, it is in addition to their core, and Tier 2, which may happen with our paraprofessionals, or it may come in the form of the classroom teacher working with small groups. And then again, we would have an additional focused small group instruction with the reading specialist. And again, it will be very scripted to the additional needs that our Tier 3 students may require. So as we kind of pull this together, we have to adhere to several processes as a school in the state of Minnesota. And there are several documents that we need to look at, constantly review, and just make sure that we are doing what we can to meet all of our students' needs. So we do have Minnesota state standards. We have a local literacy plan, Read Well by 3rd grade, which is a state requirement and mandate. We do have our guiding principles of literacy instruction, which is a local guidance through Byron Public Schools. We do also have a local literacy instructional framework in which we want to ensure that we are using best practices to, again, teach those literacy instructional skills. Our teachers work in professional learning communities weekly, where they are continuing to collaborate on, again, innovative ways that we can meet all of our students' needs. Our MTSS team, which stands for Multi-Tier Systems of Support, is a support team here at each of our schools, the primary school and intermediate school, where we meet weekly and we review student data. We look at if students are experiencing growth. We look at if students are needing additional help and support. This team is a way to make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable to meeting the needs, again, of all of our individual students. We also continually look through a watch list, which, again, we use this list to monitor student progress and, again, to make changes if changes are needed. So what can you do as a parent? Please continue to communicate with your teacher in the school. Stay connected with what's happening in the classroom. Ask questions, seek answers. Continue to support your child's learning and our school. If your child were to be invited to our After School Dreams program or Summer Dreams program, again, it's because we are looking for those just ways that we can continue to enhance their school experience. And again, just read at home. So as we kind of sum up here, this letter will have gone home indicating that your child would qualify for Title I services. Again, it is not a special education program. It is simply a way for us to continue to provide supports that we know students need to, again, continue to thrive. And that is our main goal. We hold ourselves accountable for wanting to provide the right supports, and we hope that you would partner with us in doing so as well. If you have any questions after viewing this, there is just a note on the back that if you would like to meet during conferences or stop in during conferences, you can please email Amanda Filesticker and just let her know that you would like to touch base on one of the conference nights, and we can certainly set something up to answer any additional questions you might have regarding title services. So with that, I thank you for partnering with us and hope that you are having a wonderful fall.